Hello everyone. The book that I brought to you today is Indian Superfoods, written by a well-known nutritionist, Rujuta Diwekar. This lady has written for a few more books, and most of the books are popular because she's a highly respected and acclaimed nutritionist. In India, we have been seeing rising diabetes and obesity, and many of us think and advocate rather mistakenly that many foods, Indian foods, are not to be touched. For example, ghee. Some group of people, they advise against ghee, and similarly sugar, and there are a few other foods. But Rujuta says Indian foods, these superfoods, she's listing about 10 superfoods. She strongly advocates that we must consume this food rather than consuming these so-called English cereals and other food. Well, what are those 10 foods? To begin with, the first and foremost, as per Indian tradition and Ayurveda, ghee. Ghee is a very, very important component, and it should be consumed by default every day, a reasonable quantity. That is what Rujuta's strong advice. Well, when the moment we speak about ghee, people, they speak against about this. They always claim this word attribute to the fat construction in the body, but rather Rujuta says that this is a fat buster. Similarly, there are beliefs that sugar, if you eat sugar, that will add to diabetes. She says if you know your borderline, if you know your limit, and sugar is not going to cause the body damages as the imported biscuits and cookies and other modern food. So she speaks about many more foods. For example, coconut. Coconut is equivalent to a mother's milk, and this is a natural food, and this helps us, this gives us, this builds immunity, and this helps our body in assimilating many things. So she goes on talking about many more things. For example, jackfruit. Jackfruit is an Indian fruit, and nowadays many foreigners, they are in love with this jackfruit because this falls into the vegan category, and jackfruit has been used in place of meat. So jackfruit, and like the cashewnut, what I mentioned a little while ago, and some of the other banana. As a matter of fact, we stopped consuming bananas. Banana is a classical Indian food. There's no time to eat banana. The banana can be eaten for any time. It gives you instant energy. Morning, and banana is one food that can be eaten anytime, including post lunch. So you have sugar, you have ghee, you have banana, you have got jackfruit, and you have coconut, and she adds a few other things. For example, kokum. Kokum is a kind of a turmeric, and this has been used across the country in many parts of the countries, particularly in Kerala and Maharashtra. And this is again one food that has got a lot of medicinal values. And then there is something called gonguru. Gonguru is a kind of a leafy leaf, and this can be added in many foods in India, and that has got a lot of properties. And flaxseed, and this flaxseed seed, that's again it's grown in India. Most of us, we have forgotten this particular food, and this is again, it's good. So what I like in this particular book is Rutuja has done a lot of studies, and she claims these foods are good based on certain scientific evidence. So you can definitely read this book. You will be convinced. See, conviction is something very important. What do you like to have in the morning? You have morning cereals, you have got your noodles, you have got cookies, and you have got biscuits. And do you think that that's going to do good thing for you? No, definitely no. And Indian foods, all these foods that I mentioned a little while ago, if you take it regularly, for example, ghee, she is a great advocate for ghee. You can have ghee every day, of course, a reasonable quantity. And sugar, that is something, I got a little surprised. She says sugar is a traditional Indian food. For any good thing, sugar, the grandmas always, they give sugar as a gift, even for some festivals in our countries. So, sugar, a product which has come out of sugarcane. If you eat sugar, that is definitely not going to, create diabetes for you. Of course, there is a borderline. So, this book, I thought that I'll bring it to you and highlight the Indian foods that causes more healthy reactions to the body rather than unhealthy reactions to the body. And quite convincing. I rather advise you to read this book if you have a chance. If you have not subscribed this channel, do subscribe this channel. Therefore, you get to know my new video uploads. Like this channel if you like it, and please mention on the comment section what do you think about this review. Thank you so much.